Hi guys, how we doing? As you can see, the insulation has arrived. It's acoustic Rockwool, which is RW3 for the walls and RWA45 for the ceiling. Wood's just been delivered. We got, I think it's 24 2x4 lengths, 6 meters, and 22 sheets of 6mm hardwood ply. So these will be cut down to 4 meters. And the excess wood will be used to make up the center braces for each panel, because they're going to be 1.25 meters wide, and then it's going to be the 6mm hardwood ply on top, and then once I order the perforated steel, that will be glued and screwed up into the top, and then insulation between. So hopefully we can actually start cracking on making these frame panels up, or frame panels, yeah, why not, for the ceiling on the dyno room. So all the wood is in the container. This place is still a mess because I've got nowhere to put any of this stuff, so it is all fully just everywhere. I bought myself a new drill because I don't really have one for doing woodwork. Some nice large framing squares and enough screws. Probably not enough for the whole thing, but a fairly large amount of screws so far. I think there's 400 there, and then 300 for the plugs. Just got the first 6 meter length in. Was going to plan on just making the roof panels and yeah, getting on with that, but apparently I was rushing a little bit. So spoke to a friend of mine at FT Woodworks, who's a carpenter, or chippy, whichever you want to call him. Really nice guy. He has advised me on some things, obviously not really clued up on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go as well, but so basically I'm going to make frames that go right round all the way, and then they'll be battened, and then you'll have whatever those length ones are. I think you call them nodes or something. But anyway, it's going to be fully framed wall, so then the insulation can go up against it, and then the roof panels will actually sit on the bar that runs across the top. I was planning on using some 6x2, I think it's called, to run from here to here, basically just run that line, and I was going to support it by steel brackets, but then I'd have to put bars underneath anyway, or the frame round, so I could put the insulation in and then screw the perforated steel up against it. So basically, long and short of it is, he obviously advised me that to build a frame first, frame everything, and then I'll build the roof panels after. So my job now is to order more wood, but also I'm going to start off using the 6 meter lengths I already bought for the roof ceiling panels, and I'm going to cut some of them down, try and frame one basically, and then see how she goes. The window is staying on this one. It's broken, that's why that sheet of plastic's there. I've just pulled it out of the way so I can measure, but this window's staying and that window's shibbying off. I'm going to block that up. Just cut the first piece to go in. It's 412 centimeters, but there is a gap down the wall. I thought it might have been the wood that was bowed, as some of these are. Well, I don't like working with wood really, but it's not, it's the wall. Flick the wood over, same again, so it is definitely the wall that is bowed, which means that the insulation, which is 100mm thick, will have 110mm probably in places. Obviously this is not 100, it's 95. It was also suggested that I run a damp-proof membrane underneath the wood just to stop any migration of water, as this is not really got a solid foundation. I've had a small clear up in the Dyno Room because I've got Frankie from FT Woodworks coming down tomorrow, and he's going to assist me with the first section of building the framework for this wall. Obviously he is a woodworker and therefore will know what to do and how to do it, and I will follow suit once he's gone. So he's coming down for the whole day. Hopefully we'll get this whole wall fully battened out, if that's what you call it, and the window framed. Obviously the bars off, windows out, and then that one can be blocked up, so that's not a concern. Perforated sheet just arrived, so it's R3T5. See my hand on there. It's really quite small holes. 0.7 of a millimetre, actually probably a bit too flimsy for the roof. And look at that crazy shit. Whoa. So we'll see how it goes on the walls and how to space it, but this is enough sheet to do the outside wall. As always, some of the sheets have got a little bit of damage on them, which is quite annoying, but hopefully it'll all go okay. Really good laser level placed up to get the roof lines, so I make sure that the roof line is definitely going to be ideally a couple of inches higher one end, so we can get some water runoff, because this roof does still leak in a couple of places, not a lot but a couple. So then the whole entire roof, once all these panels have been built and put on top, will have plastic sheeting on it just to protect it a little bit more, hopefully. So see how we go. So I've just put the insulation in, which I've had to cut up as the top half is slightly shorter. I've just brought a sheet in to have a look what it looks like. Obviously I've got to cut all these sheets down anyway. But you can see all the wood. Well, you can see through the sheet quite noticeably. And you can see how much it's pushed back. The standoff from the front of the sheet. You can see the wood through the sheet. So I'm not sure how I feel about it at the minute. I should be able to see. Just thought I'd spray the inside of that silver to see if it actually looked okay or not. If we can actually see what it looks like. Maybe tomorrow, see if it sinks in, what happens. Oh, let's just spray it all silver. Might look a bit weird, but at the minute you can just blatantly see all the wood through the sheet completely. Just not sure how I feel about that finish. Once I got off that block, I realised these piers are actually tied in, which was nice because, yeah, they didn't really look it, if I'm honest. So I'm just going to place the block on top now, see if everything lines up. I've just removed the top block, which is up there, and just placed that block in its place. So with a decent mortar gap, I should be able to line them up perfectly and actually run a bit of wood all the way across, which lines up. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've just given this a quick lick of paint now. I've used masonry paint on the wood. I just didn't want the wood colour coming through from the perforated steel, and I think even if this looks terrible, once the perforated steel's over it with 3mm holes, you're not really going to know. It's just the fact that it's not going to be wood coloured, and even if it comes through resinous, you probably won't tell. I just don't want the whole thing with janky wood behind it showing through, because it looked pretty terrible when I placed the sheet up. So I'm going to cut the sheets up tomorrow, or cut a couple of sheets up tomorrow, because I want to try and get this section done, just to see what it looks like. If I have to take it all apart and do whatever, that's what I have to do. But I've gone for a Plymouth grey, which basically looks white because the light's on it. If I try and turn this light away, nah, it still looks white. But it's actually grey. That's the first sheet in. I made a balls up with the, you can't see it from here, but the screws. So I've got one out of line, but that doesn't really matter. The issue is though, quite a lot of rattle. So potentially more screws. At the minute I've only got it screwed in, as you can see. It's a fair bit of space, but this in a bit. So I could potentially put more screws in it. So I guess the only way to tell really is going to be to do it all like this and then figure it out afterwards. See what happens. Going to give the roof a go now. So I want the ends to be flat and then have like a ladder style all the way through the middle. So that's the total length that I want, 3/830 by 1250. And they're the cut down bits because I'm using 2x4. So we're now going to go and cut some wood and hopefully not mess it up. Just trying to select the least bowed wood, but check how bowed this wood is. Look at that. That's why I do not like wood. It's literally a banana. And I mean, look at it. It's bent in every direction possible. Alright, so that's what I'm thinking. Just a ladder style frame. So I've got these corner blocks that I made up on a plasma machine, and I'm going to use them with G-clamps. Hopefully get the frame square. Well, there they are. It's clamped up. I mean, this one's actually quite a good one. There's no real big gap there, but I'll show you the other side. Cut that really straight. Just went to drill that in, and then I thought, that's gonna split, I think. So I think I might pilot drill these. So I used 3mm pilot drill, and man, them screws go in nice. None of that Phillips head rubbish. Just straight in with the old Torx head. So much grip. Whoop! Anti-slip. Yeah. I could still fuck them. All screwed up. I'm just going to go and grab a sheet and see if... Or maybe I'll release the clamps first, eh? But then I'll grab a sheet and just see if it all lines up the way it should do. Other than that, my measurements are crap. Hold on, I think I've just had a brainwave. Why don't I leave this frame down and then build every frame on top of this frame? Then I don't have to do any marking. Surely? Let's give that a go. I've taken the corner brackets out and put them on the next level up, but it's even easier to clamp. And I think that's genuinely a better way to do it. Probably the way every chippy would do it. Trying to cut this sheet, I've used a grinder, I've used a nibbler, I've used hand shears, and we're about to try electric shears. I found a winner. I'll take it back. It's actually, I thought it was really good because it cut through like butter, but it's really hard to trace a line. It keeps trying to push out of like the holes. I'm trying to cut in on half a hole, and actually what it's doing, it's trying to constantly push into one of the other holes, so it's actually proper wonky. You won't see it because it'll be at the top of the room, but it's still a bit shoddy. Probably preferred the disc grinder, to be fair, but obviously first time using the old shear, air shear, so might give it another go and see how we go. Whoop whoop. Yeah man, I think it's going to look alright. The hardest part of the whole entire job so far is cutting the sheet and definitely putting the sheet up on the wall. A real pain in the arse. It just seems to want to crease and crinkle at every opportunity. But we've found out that you basically need to leave like a 2mm gap between each sheet so that it can't possibly fold sort of like that way. Yeah, I've just got to cut the slither. I'm sure that's going to be lovely. Cut the slither for the end bit, and then that's basically it done. Got 3 frames made up, 2 in here drying because this side's been painted, so when the sheet goes on it, it looks a bit better. And 1 in a container. Hopefully I'm going to be able to start building these up soon. Yeah, should be able to, because I've got the thing to cut the sheet now. Yeah, so hopefully I might be able to even build maybe 2 of these up tomorrow and just see how heavy they are. I really just want to test fit them, if nothing. At least get 1 up and test fit it and make sure it's 100% the way I want it. Thanks for watching guys. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe, hit that bell and get the notifications. You can also check us out on Facebook, the link's going to be in the description. Thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.